Hello, 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 hello. Okay, so guys, hi, I am back. Now, it just occurred to me that this is my second attempt today to go live. The first one had echo from here to Timbuktu. So literally, I mean, once I finished the live, I know it was hardly audible and everything. And I was just like, okay, I'm new to this, just streaming on YouTube. I've done it on Facebook with no glitches, but with YouTube, it's been a bit tricky. I'm still feeling my way around it. So I'm hoping that this second attempt, because the first one was horrible, is going to be okay, and you guys are going to hear me properly. So, so that being said, welcome guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My Miss Fierrrce here from the Fierrrce Tradehouse. And I'm back with my weekly analysis. Yes, usually I do my analysis on a Sunday, but today I'm doing it on a Saturday because I wanted to go live on YouTube, right? And so I hope this works out. So yes, as always, if this is your first time on my channel, thank you so much for being here. Please, by all means, like, support, share, comment, let me know what you're thinking. Let me know what you want me to look at in the charts. So as always, I'm gonna start with NAS. So NAS 100 is one of my favorite indices to trade. Used to be US 30 for the longest, and then when I discovered NAS, I was like, that's it. US 30 is very volatile, and because my profile as a trader is very risky, it has really cost me a lot. So when I discovered NAS, I was like, this fits my risk profile a bit better. Although of course all the indices tend to look the same, move the same. It's just that US 30 is on the peak of volatility. Then we have NAS, and then SPX is the calmer one. Yeah. So that being said, let's look at NAS this to start this off. So with NAS, I'll try and look at it a bit more deeper because yes, I do trade NAS actively. So I like to let me just look at it a bit deeper. So as we can see, last week, this is where we were at. We closed at about 12,434.4 on the weekly. And you can see this long wick that happened. Now, this could have signified possible, retracement or pullback. However, if you guys notice, when price began to break down, it was actually targeting a certain level. And for me, this was my first, my final, really rejection level. And then possibly even lower down here at 106.92.8. So, ideally we should have seen a rejection, maybe price pulling back because we had actually taken liquidity. However, we did have a pending imbalance here, and I think this imbalance was on the daily. So let me just look at it. In fact, if you look at it here, this week on Friday, by Friday, I think we had tapped into this imbalance here, and we've left liquidity, just lying below here. We are at a demand zone. This is a weekly order block, so it's also a pretty reactionary level. Yeah, so we kind of tapped into that displacement box there. Let me look at the daily. So we've been pretty much bearish, and there's potential to start seeing price, like we've taken out liquidity. So we may see price push up. This is now on the daily, right? So let me take this out and look at this a bit better. So I still think that we will fill this gap here. So probably, definitely at some point we will. This is about 150 points, okay, away from where the low was of the week. I feel like we will take that out at some point. That's what get to the 11,344. And I also think that, the liquidity on the weekly that's lying down below here, it's a long-term goal. I mean, it's potentially potential. Yeah, so, but we are at a reactionary level, so I won't be surprised if we push away. So back to the daily. So, we've taken out liquidity of the, so Friday, we just literally took out liquidity over here. Okay, so what I'm expecting is, after a very bearish weekly run, I'm anticipating we may try to maybe push back up. So we do have this imbalance riding up here. And that would be like about, let's see, about, 410 points away. So I wouldn't mind seeing NAS pushing up, and maybe even, a bit higher, maybe in between this supply level there. So about 400 points is an initial target, but then I'm going to anticipate that we're going to continue to the downside. However, we are at an imbalance, or rather we rejected off of an imbalance. So again, we could just start seeing the price push up because there's still imbalances upside as well, okay? Long term, I will want to see NAS when we start buying, when I see the buy trigger, I probably want to see NAS push all the way to 13,579.1. But now on market open, what I'm anticipating is, I'm kind of going to anticipate that, we closed, this low was higher than this, the open here, we closed a bit higher. And I just feel like, actually it's lower than this one. So we're still in bearish territory, but I feel like it would be nice if we cleared out the imbalance before we probably try to tap back into this zone here, maybe even lower, and then continue up. So technically short-term bullish and then bearish, and then maybe now we'll begin to see price do whatever it needs to do here to start maybe pushing back up. That's it, but let me see. And we can even see on the lower time frame on 1 hour, there is your liquidity grab. We've pushed up, we're chasing an imbalance up there. So what I'm looking at, so let me wait first. Let me mark that out so that kind of makes some sense. So we do have that section there. Let me go into 1 hour. Yeah, so it's making sense that we want to go back up to this zone and possibly fill out this gap. Yeah, but I wouldn't be surprised if we pushed back down first before we went up. Either way, this is a level that I'll be either if we continue to pushing up, we will possibly still retest this zone. So that's basically how things are looking right now. So I anticipate we should open bullish, okay, but we're still in bearish territory. That's just basically how I'm seeing things. And we can even see on the lower time frame, we are this displacement higher. We did get into this imbalance on the 15 minutes. And we kind of, there was not much when we closed, it's a bit of not too much volatility by the time market was closing. We kind of tried to taper out, but not looking very convincing. So I'm looking at us tapping this zone and then coming back to the downside. So that's NAS. Let's look at US 30, which likely is going to look like NAS. So let's go back on the weekly. And we can see with US 30, so we had this swing low here. We didn't quite tap into it. So again, I'm like, there are levels that we should get to. Okay, so I'm just like, we're looking very bearish on the weekly still. We are at a demand zone. So again, we are at a reactionary zone, but I would have loved for price to just tap it. So on the weekly, definitely the indices are looking very bearish. But depending on how the market opens, there is potential for us to push up, okay, and then come and clear out the liquidity lying below. So either that or we'll just drop. Okay, so I think on Sunday, 6 p.m. New York time, I'll just be looking to see how the market opens to give me an idea of what's happening. But we have a lot of liquidity lying at these levels. Okay, so, but we do have imbalances upside. So I would love for price to shift up and then, react off of that zone and then just come and strip all this liquidity, right? So that's US 30. Let's look at gold. So guys, I hope that this live is clearer than the first attempt. I just literally apologize for those who attended the first one. It was really, really bad, but here we are. And this is, wow, gold. Gold always looking so snazzy. I like gold. I don't trade it much these days because I'm so obsessed with NAS. But gold has been shifting lower. Like when we took out this highs here and, retested this weekly high, we didn't quite take it out, but almost did. We then began to shift lower. And I honestly think, especially after this run, when it started breaking down, I really, really think gold is beginning to target liquidity downside. So that's just my take. Like, at the very least, this is what we are gunning for on the weekly. It's about what? About, let's say, it's quite something. It's about 1,681 pips away. So we have all these levels of liquidity lying below here. Gold is still breaking lower. Yes, we do see that we have kind of pushed up. Okay. We cleared an imbalance in here the previous week, took out liquidity, and then we closed bullish. Okay. So there's potential for gold to just push up possibly until, the 1908. There's that potential, okay, on the near term, the 1908 level or the 1930. No, maybe let me just try and do it exactly where I can see 1910.083. So this swing high here of 2 weeks ago, we may see price push up again. So let me look at the daily. So what I'm seeing with indices, price may open maybe bearish next week. We may open bullish then go bearish, but with gold, I'm just seeing like, okay, we do have some liquidity lying above here. Okay. So I would also like to see gold take out liquidity and then continue down. Okay. We have minor displacement upside. We have an order block above. So I'm just like, we could retest the order block and continue to the downside. So I'm bearish on gold, but and also, anticipate price will push up, because as you can see here on the daily, we took out the daily low of February, retested an order block, rejected off of that order block. We're now pushing up. There's a minute imbalance on the daily here. Let me see the 1 hour, if it's anything significant. We do have liquidity. I mean, break of structure, we retested. So I'm just gonna be like, I think we do want to try and, revisit these highs. Okay, so I'm going to anticipate a push up before we head to the downside. So that's good. If I do change my mind, I'll probably say so in the group on Telegram, in my group on Telegram, Fierrrce Tradehouse. If you're not a member, feel free to join the community. We try to give a lot of value. So that's that. Then let me look at a pair now. So GBPUSD, looking pretty bullish. We've been very bearish, okay, generally very bearish on GU. We took out liquidity and then now we're pushing up. There's imbalances. So right now I'm looking at GU just pushing up, okay? At the very least, I would love to see GU get to maybe 329 pips, to the upside. That's about at 1.28227. That's what I would really be looking at for GU. So let me look at, that's on the weekly though. So let me dial it down to the daily. I mean, same drill. We got to another block, rejected, and then now we're just looking bullish. We're taking out liquidity. We may so this is what may happen. We may, open slightly lower and then maybe clear all the imbalances above. That's really what I'm anticipating. We do still have, yeah, that's what I think so, guys. I mean, that's just me. Let me look at GBPJPY. I don't spend too much time on this. So this was my marking for GJ, and it kind of panned out, as you can see, maybe not perfectly, but just where the levels I was looking at, it did drop lower. I had anticipated that we'd probably get to this, fill out the gap here, and then bounce off of that and push up, but we did dig deeper. And understandably, we got back to where price actually broke out to the upside. And literally we've left liquidity below. So it's, we definitely will revisit this level at some point. But I'm like, okay, I think, let me look at the weekly again. There's potential to push up. There's potential before we push down. So long term, I will want GJ to drop lower. Okay, longer term, and then maybe see that push up. But I'm bullish long term. Like, I mean, short term, I would like to see GJ fill this gap here, but long term, I'm like, I think, there's potential to keep riding higher. But if we do break down, we then will see price break lower. If we break down below the 153.294, I won't be surprised if I see price going down. But for now, guys, I'm still bullish. There's imbalances upside that have been filled almost all this way up. So I'm just like, even if we retest here, we're looking to buy, right? That's on the weekly. And same drill, like potential to reject, may take out liquidity that we've left pending here, fill this gap, and then continue to the upside. That's GJ. Let's look at a euro pair. So that's euro. I'm going to look at euro AUD. Euro AUD. So yeah, in my previous attempt to do this, I'd actually said that Euro AUD since March has been in an accumulation phase of sorts. We dropped and then we started to just consolidate. But what I'm seeing is like the way the structure of the market is playing out is like, this is what's happening. We are forming higher, you know, and this would be my goal really. You know, we've just been forming higher lows, higher lows. So we did drop, then we formed the final swing low here, and then we just began to break up to the upside. We then, this displacement here is quite significant in my opinion, and we see price just retested that level or zone again. I would want it to just fill that gap there and then continue. So I'm bullish on Euro AUD. Let's see AUD USD if I'm seeing, you know, something different. And so we dropped lower. We, you know, just looked like we were beginning to taper out. This is on the daily. So weekly, so we can see this very, very aggressive, you know, drop down. If you look to the left, we see that this is actually where price broke out of. So we kind of retested this zone twice. And right now I feel like, you know, we've left liquidity lying above and the imbalances as well. So I'm bullish. Okay, so on the weekly, right? But the question is how we, so what we see is we've kind of rejected off of this zone. You know, we may taper out before we go up. So let me look at the daily. Yeah, so we may see price push back down, maybe all the way down to like because we do have an order block below here. We haven't yet retested it. So there's potential for price to push down before we push up, right? But we are at an interesting level here. Let me look at the 1 hour. So just very interesting structure, you know. We have literally potentially, okay, so the only time I'll be looking at price dropping really is if we take out these lows below here. But right now I feel like we're still bullish. So, you know, if we do take out these lows here at 0.777, then yeah, I'll be like, I think we are dropping. But for now, because we've already retested it once, twice, if we do so a third time and we continue with this trend of lower highs, then yes, I'll be like, okay, let's come down, fill out this gap, and then possibly continue to the upside, you know, because we are kind of still in bullish structure. Yeah, so I'm bullish on AUDUSD as well. So guys, if I think that's it for now. Maybe I can look at USDJPY as a last pair. I don't really trade it, but maybe helpful to somebody. Maybe. So USDJPY, I did look at this 2 weeks ago, and you can see these are my markings. And what I'd anticipated, we have an imbalance up here. So I'd anticipated we would possibly push up, possibly the 50% zone there, and then drop a retrace before we continue, because looking very bullish, right? But we didn't quite make it. We left, I mean, just we hardly by 23 to like 53 pips. So I still feel this zone up here at about 132, 131.601 is very, very, is a point of interest for the future. So what I'm anticipating is price to push lower still. Okay, my bias is still the same, except this bit. I'd hoped you to tap into that. But regardless, now that we are here, I'll be like, I think we should just, continue to break down, take out liquidity, fill out imbalances here, tap into this zone where we broke to the upside, maybe even tap lower, and then continue up, retest this zone, and then maybe begin to see the rejection downside. So I'm kind of bearish on USDJPY. That being said, that's it for today, guys. I hope you've gotten some value. I hope this adds to your trading. If it does, please give me a thumbs up, like, comment. If it doesn't, let me know how I can improve. I really appreciate your feedback. Yes, so that's it for today. Have a lovely rest of your Saturday and see you soon, guys. Next week, we're back at the charts. All the best. Have fun. Bye-bye.